Alright, stream is up. Video is recording. Hello, anyone who might be watching. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into a traditional Theros Beyond Death draft. We don't have a token this time, so we're going to be buying in with the 1,500 gems. Hoping if we can get to 4 wins, we will get that gems back, plus some packs and whatever we end up opening. And of course, we'd love to go for 4 or 5 wins and make some profit. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Yes, we do. Alright. Pack 1, pick 1. There's a couple of good options here. So the rare Enigmatic Incarnation. This is a fine build around, and if you take it early, such as pack 1, pick 1, we might be able to build around this, and it can be quite powerful. It turns out Birthing Pod, but for enchantments into creatures, is actually a pretty good card. You want to be able to use this with stuff like Warbriar's Blessing, you know, get your fight out of it, and then go find a 3-drop creature. So, rare is definitely in consideration. Other than that, Underworld Dreams, hard pass. Hydra's Growth is okay in a deck where you're facing someone who doesn't have a lot of removal. It's okay in and out of the sideboard in best of 3. But again, it has the same aura problems as a lot of auras. They open you up to 2-for-1s. Nessian Hornbeetle, something we would be interested taking. This is pretty powerful. This wants to be red-green where 4 power matters, and this is sort of mini Tarmogoyf here in Limited. Very powerful card. We would like to have it, but you can take it pack 1, pick 1 out of a weak pack. For the commons, Heliod's Pilgrim, this is great, can go find you a good aura, but here, I think we just go ahead and take the rare. There's no premium removal that we're passing on. Mogi's Favor is good and fine, but it is not necessarily premium removal. We want to take pack 1, pick 1, and nothing else here is super powerful. So, out of this pack, I'd go Incarnation 1, Nessian Hornbeetle, and then Pilgrim, and it's sort of toss-up between these two. It depends what you want to lean. If you want to lean and do the enchantment stuff, pick this. If you want to lean towards the 4 power, pick this. But we're going to take the rare, and we'll see if we can make it work. So, next pack, we got a couple of decent options here. Of the uncommons, Aliseed, this is great if you want to do the green-white enchantment-y decks, where this can protect one of your battle cruisers. It's very powerful there. We also have, this is good in aggro decks. It basically is 4-turn removal against a creature, and that's good if you can win during those 4 turns. If you're not winning during those 4 turns, though, this gets significantly worse. The other uncommon, Renata. Most expensive of these demigod creatures, but it's really powerful, giving all your creatures that come after her +1/+1 counters really good, and she'll often be, you know, a 3/3 or a 4/3 for 4, and that's perfectly reasonable stats for your 4-drop. And for that extra ability, it is great. Of the commons, Sentinel's Eye is okay again if you're a green-white enchantment. This is fine. Witness of Tomorrows, this is fairly powerful. It's a chunky blue flyer. You're happy to see it. But I think here we're just going to go ahead and take Voracious Typhon. It is a little, well, if it wasn't for Renata, we would take the Typhon. But here, we're just going to go ahead and take Renata. Yeah, we'll take Renata. Goes with our Carnation, and it was just the most powerful card in the pack. We're happy with it. Now here, 3 things that caught my attention. Bleepus is a good reason to have Black Devotion. It's reasonably powerful. It's not quite Mire's Grasp or Final Death, but it's pretty good. It's a sort of a built-in 2-for-1. There's Siona, and this is good, again, if you want to go green-white auras. She shines there, being able to build up an army as well as tutor, well, pseudo-tutor. You dig 7 deep. Hopefully in the deck that you're putting her in, that usually hits. And then we also have Warden of the Chained. And right now, it looks like we, want to favor green cards a little bit. This is a red-green card. But this is quite powerful. We can pair it with Renata, and if we can get a green on 2, this comes down on 3, Renata on 4. This thing is attacking because Renata will be our 4-power creature. So, I kind of want to lean with the Warden of the Chained. Go for, have a way to go 4-power beatdown. And again, if we end up in a green-blue enchantment deck, there's ways to splash there. This might be where the splash if we have a lot of other 4 powers. So I think we take it. It's one of the stronger cards in the pack. The only other thing I would hedge would be Bleepus, but that wants us to be heavy black, and we didn't see any great black cards in the first 2 packs. So let's just take the green card. Oh, speaking of passing black, oof. We might end up pivoting back on that here a little bit. Let's see. So out of this pack, really only 2 things in consideration. Omen of the Forge. This is a great shock effect. Triggers your enchantment stuff. In red-black, it can trigger your sacrifice stuff. If we end up red-green, there is a little bit of Constellation Enchantment Fall stuff that can take advantage of this. If you're red-blue, the flash aspect of this matters. So this is this plays with probably the most strategies for the Omen of its color. Really powerful in basically every deck. But we also have Hateful Eidolon. Now, if we had a Mire's Grasp already, I would snap up the Eidolon, but we don't. So we have to continue with that in mind. We haven't seen any great black these last couple of picks. And the stuff that we're getting, this is good, but you really need to be drawing cards with it. 1 card draw replaces itself. You get that 2nd card draw, and it becomes actively good. But again, you want to have enchantments for it. We don't really have the auras for it yet. I say here we take Omen of the Forge. If we end up splashing, we can sack it to the Incarnation, go get a 3-drop so we can shock something, then go get a 3-drop, and that seems like it would be good, and 3-drop could be the Warden of the Chain. So let's take the Omen. Well, we took the Omen last pack. Maybe if we're doing the Incarnation, the second one is still good. Here's another Bleepus. We're being punished a little bit. We could have 2 Bleepus and a Hateful Eidolon, and that would not be a bad place to start the draft. You don't want too many 6s, but 2, especially when they're built-in 2-for-1s that you want to be buying back, is fine. Here we really have 2 options. It looks like we want to lean towards green. The 2 green cards in this pack are good. We don't necessarily want the second Omen. They have diminishing returns. By the time you're casting the second one, you've already picked off a 2-drop. This can help you finish something. It gets a little bit better since we have the Incarnation. But here I'm more on picking one of our green cards, and I like maining at least 1 Return to Nature in this format. This being able to kill enchantment creatures like the Nyxborn or the Daxos is actually very powerful, and we'd run at least 1 or 2 main deck, and then it's nice to even have more out of the board if the opponent shows a lot of enchantment stuff. It can pick escape cards out of the graveyard, and there's 1 or 2 good artifacts in this set you don't mind blowing up. The Entrancing Lyre at common, and then if they manage to get the rare Shadow Spear, the artwork even fits in with that. This just takes that out. So let's pick up our first Return to Nature. And now this pack. We do want to play green. We don't necessarily want to be the red-blue deck, although this is powerful there. We could pivot there. We're not too far off. The Omen of the Forge works well with that, and we could even splash Incarnation in that deck. We'd want to pick up some of the blue Omens as well. Third Bleepus, you don't really want a third Bleepus. That would be nice. Omen of the Dead is fine in that black deck. It looks like blue is being kept pretty hard, so we might not end up being blue. And this being green-blue, this being, red-blue could be a significant disadvantage. And if we're red-green splashing blue, this is not a great splash. You really want to be doing instant speed stuff, and we have 2 instants or flash between the Omen and the Return to Nature, but the other stuff doesn't really want us to be doing that. They want us to have creatures and enchantments. So, with that being said, I think we just take our first Grove Dancer. It's a perfectly fine 2-drop. There's something to be said for the Oread, but I think we're more safely green than we are red, so we want to pick up the green card here. Here, Loathsome Chimera, this is exactly what we want. That actually helps us with the 4-power stuff, with the Warden of the Chained, and it looks powerful. If for some reason that Beetle wheels out of the first pack, we would be ecstatic. But yeah, Loathsome Chimera has recursion built into it. It's a great card. And for this, I think we are going to go ahead and grab up the Loathsome Chimera. We're pretty far off of blue. These are okay if you're a real blue long game deck, a blue-black control deck. This can be a win condition. This is a decent counter spell, especially if you can get the cost reduced to just about 2. Let me restart Twitch on my phone here. But yeah, we're just going to take the Relentless Pursuit. This makes the main deck plummet for the sideboard. There's something to be said there, but let's just take the Relentless Pursuit. We would love it if the Relentless Pursuit, milled over our Chimera. We could rebuy it with Escape. We only have the 1 Escape card so far. Things are looking pretty good. There's the dashboard. This does want us to be the 4-power, and if we're going to be red-green, we already have 2 things with 4-power. This isn't a bad pickup. It's not the greatest 3-drop, but we need to play it, so let's just grab it up there. Let's grab a Nexus Wardens. Decent flying defense. Engage with a ton of life. Love it. I don't like Portent outside of red-black. You want to be able to sack the creature you steal. So that being said, let's just take a second Stampede Rider. That Oread managed to wheel. We'll throw it in there. Wow. Well, red seems pretty open. We will throw the second Omen of the Fortune and another Oread. So red is super, super open. We're happy to see it. And now this pack. We're really far off of black. We could take this for collection building purposes, but in best of 3, I want to avoid that more than if I was in best of 1. So here, we're looking at the red and the green in the pack. Dreamshaper Shaman is a not too bad high-end threat. Let me read this card here. It's a threat. It's an enchantment creature, which is a bit of a liability. Again, if you play your 6-drop and the opponent uses a 2-mana instant speed removal spell to kill it before you can get value out of it, that feels bad. But the effect here, being able to pay and just get non-land permanents out of your deck, is powerful. We have some decent ones, Renata, Warden of the Chained, etc. And we're sort of built around doing that, and we have some decent stuff that we're willing to sack as well. Arena Trickster can get up to 4 power for the 4 power matters deck. We only have the 1/4, mostly lower drops here. Hero of the Games is an okay 3-drop, but again, this is going to be a Boros card. You don't really want to be running it in red-green 4-power. This is fine for giving your stuff trample, but we'd like to pick one up later on the wheel. All that being said, I think this is just the most powerful card in the pack for us. If this was pack 1, pick 1, I would slam the Euphemia and try to build around her. But here, with what we have in this pile so far, we're going to take the Dreamshaper Shaman as color. Okay, Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Nothing that I really want to splash for. Storm Herald, it's a rare. What does it do? We get all our auras back. Do we have any auras so far? No, and if we picked it up, we would have to get auras to build around. Of course, a 3-2 haste for 3 is not bad. And we could try to prioritize auras. This buys back auras. That might not be a bad thing. This is probably a fine pickup here. And then there's also Impending Doom. Now, if you're an in-paper draft, I would say we want the Impending Doom first. This can get something up to 4 power, which it looks like it's going to matter in our deck so far, being red-green. It just makes anything into a threat. It smashes hard. It does open you up to removal. You have to be a little careful about it when you play it. But it turns something into a threat that just smashes hard. The reason I wouldn't pick that here is I think this will wheel, and we can get it when this pack comes around in pick 10. I think we'll be able to pick this up. Red looks super open. I'm going to risk wheeling this, and we'll take the rare Storm Herald, and we'll keep our eye out and know that enchantments get bumped up just a little bit now. Okay. Again, looking at the red-green cards, we already have one Relentless Pursuit. This is just a fine 3-drop. I think we take the Nyx Herald. We have a couple of things that are enchantment creatures already. Oh, fewer than I thought. At least Renata, the Dreamshaper Shaman. This pumps itself. Let's just take it. It's a good 3-drop. Alright, now we have an interesting decision. This is an okay red beater, but really I'm looking between these two green commons. Again, nothing here I'm really wanting to splash for. We can consider still splashing the Incarnation. It can give us some amount of reach. That can be good. We have some things that it would be nice to pick out. And we have, 2-drops, 3-drops, and even some 4-drops. So we're doing pretty well on that. I kind of want to just take this as a test and training. It gets stuff up to 4 power. Let's see, what does it get up? It gets Storm Herald up to 4 power. It can get the Nyx Herald up to 4 power. It might get the Renata up to 4 power. And it lets our 4 power things have trample, and that is important. It'll draw the card. And with this Storm Herald, if we can get this into the graveyard for some reason, Storm Herald brings it back, gets us a, gives it trample with whatever else we might have it on the time, and it draws us a card. So here I think we just take the training. Speaking of some enchantment build-arounds, Nessian Wanderer, this is great. Every time you get an enchantment on the battlefield, you get to go 3 deep and try to find a land. This is very powerful. We want enchantments. We have some enchantments. Let's just snap that here. Nothing to really talk about. Here, we already have 2 Oreads. Otherwise, I'd say take it. Only other card in this pack for us is going to be a Plummet for the sideboard. Caryatid is okay on a splash if you're trying to splash a lot. The only thing we'd want to splash right now is the Incarnation, and that could still be an option, especially if we're ditching enchantments into our graveyard. They can be brought back with Storm Herald. That could be powerful, but we'll just take our second copy of the Lonesome Chimera. Again, Omen of the Forge. After your first copy, there's diminishing returns on this. 2 is about as many as I would want in a deck, and we just want 4 power things. So Lonesome Chimera it is. Well, if you're gonna give them to us, we're not giving up much for that. We're definitely very good. Red was very open. This next pack, we will see if that Impending Doom wheeled around. Final Flare may be an okay removal spell for us. Hero, we're not doing a ton of targeting. Important, we don't have ways to sacrifice. Trickster can get up to 4 power. What's our curve look like? So we're a little weak here. Up at the 4 drops. Makes me want to just take the 4 drop that can potentially grow into 4 power. We are rewarded the impending doom wield. This seems like it will be great on the Storm Herald. This seems like it'll pump anything up to 4 power and turn on our 4 power matter stuff. And now we'd like some more 4 power reasons to be 4 power. Reverent Revelers, sideboard card. Serviceable 5-drop in this deck. Happy about it. The red is just flowing. We'll take this and probably sideboard it. And another red card. Well, Myers Grasp is not. No, well, I'm kidding. We're taking Gallia. Satyrs. Do we have satyrs? That's a satyr. That's a satyr. That's a satyr. So we actually have a couple of satyrs. That's a satyr. We already have some satyrs. We're in red-green. Gallia is a great card. A 2/2 for 2 with haste. Pumps up some of our things. In fact, I think it can get... Yeah, it can get that up to 4 power if we have something else with 4 power. That's not going to matter, though. Can pump that. It, in conjunction with some stuff, could get us there, but only other card in this pack we'd want to look at is the Typhon. Typhon, just a good card, but we already have some reasons to be escaping the Chimera, and we're just going to take our gold card and be happy about it. So here, Binding is nice if you want to be more graveyardy recursion, but I think we want to be beat down, and in which case Incendiary Oracle, 2/2 for 2, can pump itself. If we need late game, if we need to get something up to 4 power, we can pump it pre-combat, get something up to 4 power, and that'll turn on our Stampede Riders. It'll let the Warden attack, so we'll nab that up. We are 4 power. We want to be able to just beat down. I wish we had more Warden of the Chains. We'll see if we can get some more of those coming around, or Beetles. But Flummox Cyclops, if you are attacking, does a perfectly decent impression of the Voracious Typhon. It attacks as a 4/4 for 4. And I'm happy enough about that. We already picked up one of those. I don't want to run a second one. We have a bunch of those. We have a Plummet in the sideboard already, and we're running one Relentless Pursuit. I don't know if I would want to run more in this deck that just wants to beat down. So let's grab the 4-power creature here. This pack doesn't look like we're going to get anything to splash. I think I'll take a Relentless Pursuit and hope not to run it. Allure of the Unknown comes around. That's interesting. The only other card in the pack for us is the Trickster. I think here we're just going to grab the rare. We're not going to play it, I don't think, and we're not going to play that one either. We're happy with the way this deck's coming together. Cetessan Training's great. Iroas' Blessing. Fantastic card. Can't believe it's coming around this late. We needed more removal. That's it. Pumps our stuff. Oh, we are in heaven here. We'll take a Thrill. Throw it in the sideboard. We'll take a Plummet for the sideboard. 2 Plummets. It's about right. Well, 3. And I think we were literally the only drafter in red. Literally the only one. Okay, and we even got a couple of rares for our collection there. That's kind of nice. Now let's take a look at this deck. And let's see what we got. Alright. So how do we want to build this? I don't think I really want the Trickster. Yes, it can grow. But we have some other stuff going on up there at 4. I don't really want to run multiple Oreads. Well, we got 4 cuts to make. I kind of like cutting 1 Omen of the Forge. We'll have it in the sideboard. If we end up seeing a lot of, 2-power stuff, 2-toughness stuff, we can bring it in. Not super impressed with these, but we are 4-power. It does have trample. It might be alright. I don't want to just cut all our high-end stuff. Again, not loving that. And I kind of want to cut non-creature things. Do we just cut a Relentless Pursuit? That feels... Usually you don't want to do that, but we want to be so beat down that I think it's okay here. Yeah, we just want to beat him down. This is a satyr, and the getting lands is powerful, so I like that. And actually, I think what we do here is we cut a mountain and go 16 lands. Our deck can perfectly well function on just 3 lands out, even for 2. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we can be doing, getting out there, killing stuff. And realistically, we top out at 4. Yes, we have 2. We have 1 5-drop and 1 6-drop. But they're relatively late game cards. We have enough going on down here. I'm comfortable running 16, but we don't want those lands. There's a way to do that. There we go. And we want red. I don't have the forest yet, so we're not going to run the nice Nyx lands. We're going to instead run Avon Unhinged lands. And for this deck, let's go ahead and put our rare up there, Gallia. And what do we want to call it? What do we want to call this deck? Satyr Party? We have a number of satyrs here. How many do we have? We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of them, but that's significantly more than your average deck. So let's go ahead and run with this. We have a couple of, let's just double check our sideboard options here. We got 1 more Omen of the Forge. We got 4 of those. That just shows you how open red was. This is a perfectly playable card. Usually you want to be a little bit more defensive. It's a 1/3, and it does help you rummage late game. Red was just super open. You could almost, if the green wasn't so powerful, we could just ditch a green, go mono red. But we got 3 plummets out of the board. I like how this shaped up, so let's go ahead and jump into the games as soon as I move that around. All right, we'll add this to our decks. That way we can play with it later. They just implemented this. You can actually add in your limited decks up here as 40-card decks that you can save for future use. And because of that, we can challenge other people with their limited decks in the direct challenge. So that's something you can do now. And I've even seen people starting online where you can draft and then just challenge other people with your draft decks, and it lets the fun go on, especially if you think you have a sweet deck and you go 0-2 because of variance. You can go ahead, save that deck and run it against some of your friends or some people online and get a little bit more value out of that draft. But here we go. Let's just jump into game 1 here. Well, that was fast. We definitely want to be on the play. We are the aggressor. And with only 2 lands, we can run out the Oracle, and we can also return to nature something. I like that. And we get our 3rd one, the whole hand's unlocked. So this is great. Opponent looks like they're taking a mulligan over there. That should help us. We don't want to win because of a mulligan, but if it helps, I'm not going to complain. White, blue. We're going to attack first. Yep, they're taking it, kind of expected it. And this is a great thing to try to aura up. And we have the return to nature to punish that, so... I think now we go ahead and do it at the end of their turn. They might be able to save it here, but they're doing it end of turn. That would not be great for them. So unfortunately, we actually don't have anything else to do. Would have loved to have seen that last land by now. As is, this is a 1-for-1. They'll get to scry later. It's not ideal. Hey, there it is. Let's see, what do we want to start with? If we do Warden and we can get a 4-power thing out next turn, we don't have one of those. So I want to be able to attack. The Nyx Herald will be able to attack, especially if I put like, the Blessing on it and kill the Daxos. We just want to get in there. We want to try to be the aggressor. They have had a pretty reasonable start to stymie this aggro, but we'll see if we can get there. Okay. Commanding Presence, that's really great for them. And in that case, we're going to go ahead and try to take out the Envoy. If they just have a way to protect it, bad, but looks like it works out for us. And this is a free attack. Alright, we were able to punish their aura. Let's see if this can continue. I think this next turn I'll probably, if we draw a land, we'll drop the War Leader. If not, we'll drop the Warden of the Chain. We did get a Chimera. I still like dropping the Warden then. If we drop the Chimera next turn, the Warden can attack. There's a lot of power out there. Toughness as well. We can block the Daxos effectively. We're going to keep getting in there. Opponent is winning the race currently, but we've deployed a lot of power on the board here. We'll see if we can get there with that. I missed what they did with that scry. Although only one card in hand. We got 4. Yeah, I'm gonna take the block. They might not realize that it's block. Yeah, I think they just didn't realize it could block. That's fantastic. Do we have a way to hold that up to hit the Envoy? Yes. Here, I think we're just gonna smash in. Giving up Daxos? Wonderful. Yep. We're going to hold up the Forge. The only way they can really win is either by playing a huge threat or us being able to get the Envoy. Them oraing up the Envoy. Well, they're attacking. Alright. Shatter the Sky. Well, if they're going to give up their thing anyways, we at least get to block. Okay. Let's deploy the Chimera. we're way ahead on cards. That's pretty nice for him. That being said, we can just aura this bad boy up with a Doom and a Cetessan training and Smash. They would have used removal if they had it, so I feel like this is pretty safe. We're just gonna try to smash their face and get their own damage. They need a pretty good top deck to shut down the Chimera. If all they do is pump mana into the Pegasus. Okay, well that's a thing. Do we still just win here? Not quite. Definitely not. They can gain a lot of life. But let's get in there. Let's see if they realize what Trample does. Oh, they want to trade. Oh no, wait, it has first strike. Oh, it has first strike. I forgot that that bloody thing has first strike. No, we want auras in our graveyard, don't we? First strike vigilant. Big boy. That's bad. Yeah, we're just gonna lose these guys. That was a punt. Won't show them anymore. They had a lot of flyers, which means we get to bring in some plummets. Go down one Omen. We're going to go down... What else do we want to go down here? Yeah, they have auras, so we would love to punish them. I'd even keep one more Omen. I think we go down the Return to Nature. Well, that could also be real good, huh? Let's go down the trainings. And let's also cut... Yeah, being land-starved didn't help there. We are running 16. We can function on 3 lands. And we have this to try to get them. Trying to think. Maybe we only do 2 plummets. Yeah, let's run with 2 plummets. Let's see how that goes. They showed how many flyers there? They showed at least 2 or 3 envoys. They showed the Pegasus. And yeah. Alright, here we have lands. We got 2-drop, 3-drop. We can throw in Doom on the Stampede. If you control 8 creature with 4 power, so it'll actually trigger off itself. That'll be fun. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. Let's just smash their face. And they're both satyrs. If we can find our Gallia, it'll pump them both, and we can really get in there. And if we can actually get the impending Doom in the yard, you know, if it happens to end up there, the Storm Herald can bring it back. It's looking good so far. They can have this if they want it. They do get to exile it, but we don't have a way to bring it back anyways. It would just have helped fuel escape for our Chimera. That was a long pause. I think we throw Doom on it, or try to. See what they have here. Flicker of Fate. Wow, alright. Sure thing, we can actually get it back for a turn with the Storm Herald, so that's not the worst. Well, here we could Blessing it up, but we can also just Omen of the Forge that. Let's see if they want to take the trade. And will Omen hold up a plummet? They cast something with white tips, like that. We'll go ahead and kill the Daxos. No triggers from opponent. And let's go ahead and kill that. Only one blue, the only thing they could have is that one bounce spell. There's the Dream Trawler. Do we have outs for this? Yes. So, I don't think we're attacking here. But what we're going to do is we're going to put an upkeep stop on them. Let's see if we can beat a Dream Trawler. The plan is on their upkeep, we will target the Trawler with the Plummet. They'll have to pitch their only card they have to save it. And if their top deck's bad and they misplay, that's fine. And then we will use Omen of the Forge and try to dig for more removal. For this turn, though, we're just going to hold back. This is about our only shot at it. We're going to target that. They have to pitch their card or lose the Trawler. Alright, they pitch a card. Soul Guide Lantern, it's not great, but it is a cantrip. And that taps the Trawler, which means they are not drawing an extra card this turn. They're holding on to this card to protect it. We would like to find some more removal. We have more plummets in deck. Return to Nature doesn't do it. We'll bottom both. Well, this does something weird. We get all the auras back. We can smash them. That'd get us a land. It doesn't let us kill the Trawler. And yes, it will be hard to deal with. But I think what we do is we run out the Wardens, and then we run out Storm Herald. Storm Herald gets back Impending Doom on... it might as well be Storm Herald. We get a trigger. We get to dig some. These are all bottoms. Nothing great there anyways. They know what we have. We get to smash. 10 damage. We have to sack that. It gets exiled. It doesn't actually deal 3 to us, which is nice. And we're in about as good a shape as we can be. Oh gosh. Well, double lifelink isn't a thing, so... Now they've outdrawn us. Oh, and they can drop a big bug creature, huh? Oh, we get to attack with the Stampede Rider. All it does is bounce off Glory Bearers, though. So let's throw out the Cyclops. Our only hope here is to go wide enough. We can use Plummet to tap it down, essentially. Oh yeah, now we do have a 4-power creature. I should have played the Cyclops before we attacked. That would have actually enabled it to attack. So that's, this does have reach. Could be relevant if we have to block it. Oh, not what we wanted to see. Well, we have 2 attacks. We might as well take them. Next turn, if we can't find a way to essentially tap the Trawler, we'll have to hold the Cyclops back and hope they only attack with 1 and use the Cyclops to block. We will hold on to the mountain to bluff. Sometimes the opponent just has a Dream Trawler and you don't have the answer for it. They probably also have their rare board sweeper in hand at this point. Well, there's Gallia. Does Gallia get countered? No, Gallia does not get countered. Alright, pumps a team. We attack. How do we attack here? If we hold at least, well, they have multiple ways for lethal, so I say we just get in there. And we get to pitch them out and get 2 cards. And 1 is a plummet. We do get the Dream Trawler tapped down. Unfortunately, they have lethal, unless they block poorly. They have blocked in a way that is fine. Well, let's see. They're thinking about it. Oh no, they're going to drop an enchantment, aren't they? We would have had to have held 2 things back. We still could have got the Gallia trigger. So maybe that was not ideal attacking there. Let's end turn. Maybe they don't see it. Before combat, we'll tap down the Trawler. Alright. They're gonna make a whole bunch of... Let's see, do they realize they have lethal? They realized it. Maybe it's right there to hold something back. Not quite sure if that was the ideal line. It seemed like it was our only shot. Do that and hope to draw a decent enough instance to kill their stuff. Didn't quite happen. I think the deck's still sweet. Dream Trawler's just a... Dream Trawler's a dumb card. Let's go ahead and move into the next game. See how it goes. Three lands. We have Stampede Rider, and ideally one more land gets us Renata. This is Hesson training on that. Draws us a card. This seems great. Yeah, Dream Trawler should have been a mythic for the limited environment. It's just any deck where, hey, we even got a 2-drop to play. That's nice. Any deck. Most of the blue-white decks, that's something that has to be on your mind. Oh, do they have the Trawler? Let's drop this. It turns all our enchantment creatures into finding lands. And that seems good. Both die to Mire's Grasp. They're white-black. That's likely. Or they can make a sack of things. Here, Nyx Herald attacks a little bit harder. Again, both of these are going to die to a Mire's Grasp, so let's just play this guy. Hey, it died to a Mire's Grasp. Called that one. Well, let's just keep maxing our mana. They have to run out of removal at some point. They have used 2 pieces of it already, and they're going to go find one, but this does get us a turn to go ahead and drop some creatures and get some counters on them. They're likely finding a Dreadful Apathy or a Mire's Grasp here. Or, oh, in that case they don't have it, and we can punish that with Omen of the... Oh, wait, we only have one red. We could suit up Renata. Suiting up Renata actually gives her 2 whole points of power, brings her up to 4. Starts trampling, gets us a draw. That's fine. Hey, and it's a mountain anyways. Still, as is, I kind of like holding on to Omen of the Forge. We can take their thing out from under them before the Sentinel Eyes can get on it. But even then, Sentinel Eyes doesn't... Renata can still attack through, this can still attack through, so let's just go ahead and get a counter. I like that a little bit better. I'm not worried about them eyesing up a Heliod's Pilgrim. That hurts a little bit more, but we got some value out of her before she died, so I'm actually okay with that. Hey, and we got a 4-power creature, which means we can slam this, and... Favored. Great thing about that is it's gonna die to the Omen of the Forge, and they can get back. Well, they should not have main phased that. That was their trick, and they couldn't even get anything back. That seemed really, really poor on the opponent's part. But let's go ahead and run out of work. Let's see how they block. And we can blow them out with an Omen of the Forge. I don't know what they're thinking. That was the worst time to play it. If they had at least played it on our turn with a flash, they could have, you know, gotten the favorite of Iris. This gives a double strike. I don't think that matters here. We take it if they attack with anything. Well... Alright, they scoop. I don't know what they were thinking. They could have at least traded... Well, no, actually, ours were 4/5s. They couldn't have traded. That just seemed like a really bad play on their part. So what did we see from them? We saw 2-power... One 2-power thing that they really want to suit up, and it looked like their removal... Why can't I look at their grade? There it goes. Their removal... They went ahead... with the Pilgrim and did not grab removal, which makes me think that Mire's Grasp might be their only piece of removal. The shock looks like it killed things. We don't need to bring in plummets here. I don't even think we need to bring in more Omens of the Forge. We didn't see that much 2-power stuff. It could be worth, you know, bringing in an Omen of the Forge for an Iroas's Blessing if we saw that they were really heavy on just 2-power or less. But they showed at least that Soul Reaper, which is 3-power. They want to be enchantment-y, so being able to remove their stuff at instant speed seems good with the Omen and the return, so maybe that's a case for another Omen. But I also like being able to take out bigger threats. Black-white, they probably have Bleepus. So maybe here it is worth running another Omen if they want to enchant up their stuff. And we can cut... We might just cut a Setessan Training. No, let's cut a Blessing. Blessing's good removal, but if they want to enchant stuff, I'd rather be able to flash in and get 2 damage in on something before it gets enchanted. Well, we're a little creature light, but, you know, our draw should be absolute gas. Point taken. Well, let's get our 2-drop out there. If they want to Freaka's Libation it, be my guest opponent. If they want to Mire's Grasp it, be my guest opponent. Hierophant. Alright. That's a bit more of a problem. That makes me regret doing... Oh, Hateful Eidolon. That makes me regret doing the Omen of the Forges over in Iroas' Blessing there, but what are you gonna do? Let's see if we can still punish an aura with it. We can double Omen of the Forge it if we have to. If this is like a commanding presence, it's not. It's a Sentinel's Eyes. We can still punish that. Their thing's Death Touch. It's gonna trade with us anyways. And they didn't show too many threats last time. So I'm wondering if we just, you know, if they don't have good threats on them, that's okay. But geez, this thing just blocks it all day. Alright, deck, stop playing. Nothing out of 5. Now's the Farika's Libation. Oh, E2 extinction, okay. Rare removal spell. And they surveilled to the top. So since they didn't put one in the graveyard, they must have liked what they saw. Alright, we'll go ahead and do that. And Nexus Wardens. And we'll plan to scry here, unless they try to throw like a commanding presence on that, in which case we can return to nature it. No blocks, we can afford to take 4 for, you know, two or three returns here still, safely. We have stuff that, you know, just trades for that. This makes our thing have to attack, so I don't really like it here. Alright, training makes it trade and draws us a card. If they happen to have Farika's Libation here, then if they let it land, we get to draw a card. We get to gain some life. Oh, lands. We're just gonna plan to block that thing. Swing. This opponent doesn't know what they're doing. They should have done that in response. We wouldn't have got to draw our card. Unless they were worried about a bigger threat, but... Alright, well, we're gonna keep scrying. We'd like to just find more creatures. Some more big boys. And here's Big Boy 1 and Big Boy 2. We're actually gonna start with the Chimera. It looks like they have Destroy removal, or at least that's what they were showing, and this we'll be able to buy back. Well, they can exile it, so maybe that's the less good call. We did it already. They could have discard in this color pair, so let's just run out the land. They could have the, not that. Ah. So we can actually do the hidden mode with Return to Nature here, and we'll fire it off to exile the Hierophant so they can't get back. So with this trigger on the stack, we'll exile it, this resolves, it can't find its target, fizzles, they don't get that card. Two top. That's not good for us. Oh, Banishing Light, wow. Bo3's favor. Well, they're trying to just end this. It's on them to try to find another piece of removal. We have a blocker. Do you have an answer for it, opponent? They whiff. They got nothing, so yeah, we're forced into a block there. They do get to get that to their graveyard, and with what they got going on, they can bring it back. They can only bring the one back this turn. What did they nab out of our yard? Slender Vanishing Light. 4-liter, just a big thing. We'll hold on to that. It's not looking great here. They are removal heavy, but creature light. I feel like that's a favorable matchup, and Bo3's favorite is just so yes, removal heavy, creature light. I don't like the Omen of the Forge for Blessing. Their things can get big enough that blessings actually matter. We don't have graveyard hate here. Oracle technically. I think that was just a case that they got what they needed and we did not. So let's run this back. They only have what, a Bogey's Favor, a Sentinel's Eyes, and a Mire's Grasp. They managed to get them all before their Pilgrim came down, so that's just rather impressive. This seems like an alright hand. We get to Gallia, and then training the turn after on it, make it bigger. And we get to get in for a cheeky 2-on-2. Well, we're gonna do this. We have to hope that they don't have a way to punish it. We get our card. It is not the land that's wanted. Well, we're on the beatdown plan. They have to do something. Alright, we can use the Omen of the Sun to make sure Gallia doesn't die here. Omen of the Forge, I'm sorry. Their Omen of the Sun. And we still trample over. Seems alright. They only get the trading off of that. That is fine by me. And we managed to hit the third land, so we won't let them see it before we attack. If they have another Omen of the Sun, it's a trade, and that's alright. Here, though, let's go ahead and Stampede Rider. It's actually bigger because of Gallia, and next turn we can play the Chimera. We just pump this. Oh, it gave it haste. Oh, that should be pretty combat. Wow, Gravebreaker Lamia. That's a card. I don't know why they put their Eat to Extinction in the graveyard. I don't think there's ways to get back instants. But here what we're going to do is we're going to exile. We're going to destroy the Gravebreaker and get in there. And they scoop it up. Okay, there's definitely some not great sequencing. I forgot about the haste that Gallia gives the other satyrs, so we missed a few points of damage there, but we got there in the long run. We got their bomb. They didn't seem to be playing super well, which helped us, but I think we would have got there anyways. Alright, we're at 1-1. Means we're getting 2 packs, but we really want to be getting gems back. We spent 1,500. We want to try to get to 3 wins to get that 1,500 back. So let's get back in there and see if we can make that the case. Alright, you know what? Another one where we get to start out with Gallia, and now I won't forget that this is a satyr. This seems fantastic. And another satyr. We're gonna satyr this opponent to death. Okay, with that, we would much rather have we'll go ahead and run out the Grove Dancer. That's a perfectly okay trade with the Rage Hound. Of course we don't have to, we could race him. I think we race better than the opponent. Gallia? Well, we don't necessarily outrace that. Let's keep maxing our mana here. They won't take this. They won't take the trade, they will take the damage. No blocks, take 3 again. We can pump up all our satyrs with Gallia. Really looking for... Wow. They are on the plan. Alright, this is great. We can go ahead and... Gallia. And in addition, we can go ahead and send out Nessie. And we could get in there with everything. Or at least with these 3. Does that make sense? They could get us with the Go White attack. Otherwise, we're getting in there for a bunch, and we're discarding a card at random, but I like all the cards we have. We want to try to take out one of those heroes. And we have fine blocks here. I'm kind of more okay with this. I like this. It's going to help us cancel. So we could take this out. Of course, they have another. I want to do 4 mana worth of play here, so I think we just run out the Cyclops. And in that case, they have to trade at least. Well, they can make it a 1-for-1. So, well, can they? They can't make this a 1-for-1. So let's go ahead and get in there with it. Killing Gallia. And here's their big attack. This can't block. Should have thought of that. Taking 10. And that's a 3/3, so yeah, I say we slap this here. Take out the biggest threat. Grab a... let's grab the knife. Play them out. And I don't think we can attack. Next turn we'll be able to, but not this turn. Okay, it was gonna just be 2 things, but here I think we Oracle and Warden of the Chain. We're just trying to make our board intimidating enough to make it really attack through. That being said, well, hold on. Since we have 4 power stuff, this will actually be big enough to block the Rage Hound. And not die. So Rage Hound goes away, they get some 1/1. That's not great. And here, I think we just want to throw it on the Cyclops. And we'll go ahead and run out of the rider. Get in there with our 5/4 ramp. They're pretty wide. Well, they don't win here. let's get in there. I didn't know if we had that or not, but they had it on the crackback, so we had to go for it. Oh, that's exciting. What did they have? They do have a Phoenix of Ash. We would like to exile that if possible. That means Plummet is... Plummet's an okay answer, but the fact that that can come back is more annoying. I think we just go what we have with what we have. Getting bigger bets than the opponent seemed to work out that last game, and let's just hope that same strategy goes again. Yeah, they had a pretty good start there. I was a little bit worried with the Annex coming down. Double hero was something I was definitely concerned with. We have to mulligan that one land. Gotta mulligan this one land. This is what happens when you run 16. Sometimes you will get one land in your opening hand. Happens with 17 too. Alright, this is great because what we can do is we can just pitch. I want to pitch a second mountain. We want 2 forests eventually if Renata shows up. As far as 5 land hands go, this one's not too bad. That's a little scary. That being said, I think we just want to develop the board. If they have a way to aura that up, alright, well, they'll just take out our 2-drop. Okay with that. We'll throw out our 1/4. That should stop them pretty well. They're attacking into it, so that means they could have an Omen to finish us off. They could also be trying to pump their hero, but they'd have to pump a good bit. And you know what? I am absolutely willing to trade a trick for our wardens. That's fine. That would be great if the impending doom was already in the board, as is. I'm just going to hold up the Omen of the Forge here and hope that they go for Aura. And since they have it, I'm just going to snap it on free combat. Another hero. Hate to see it, but it's there. Here we're going to go ahead and throw out the Cyclops. If they read the text right, they attack with both, and I can't block anyway. They can do that. Great start by the opponent here. Let's go Los Chimera. We just need something to stop that hero. And with what we got going on, we should be able to buy back very quickly. I think I just play out that. We can aura it up, and that gets us a land. I don't know if that's a good option. We're gonna end up taking this Rage Hound for a turn or two. If we can get a land, we can just Chimera out, and that's great. Hey, speaking of Storm Herald, oh, they get the blessing. Oh, that is. Oh, opponent, that's a great deck you got going on there. Youch. We have our own Storm Herald, but not like that. We could run out our Storm Herald, but we end up dying anyways. Let's just see what's coming up. Nothing great. Okay, most of their stuff dies to the shocks. They don't necessarily have big things, so I think I like the sideboard plan of take out a blessing, put in another Omen of the Forge. They don't have flyers, so we don't care about plummets. And yeah, let's just try to get bigger butts than they can. Bigger than their power. That's all we need. Okay, we want to play first. We got plenty of 2-drops. We got a 3 and a 4 as well. 2 lands. And maybe they'll be doing the mulliganing this time. No, they mulligan to 6. We want to be able to hit our land drops. The Wanderer helps with that. This is an enchanted creature, so we're going to play it, trigger this, try to get our land for the turn. It's likely we'll want another red source here early to be able to own it. And the opponent scoops it up after playing 2 planes. I get that he may have thought that his chances were slim there, but a lot of times if you can just, you know, get one more land, the opponent can stumble, you might be able to get back into a game. I don't like to concede after the first 2 or 3 turns, especially if all the opponent's done is played 2 2-drops and can attack for 3 each turn. I know it's feel bad, but that's part of Magic. Try to stick with it. There was likely a chance that the opponent still had, you know, 20 to 30% equity in the game at that point. And giving up that much on games that, you know, just aren't going perfectly your way will hurt your record in the long run. It'll hurt your expected value from these events in the long run, and I would discourage scooping that early. Know when you're beat, but the opponent, you know, they draw a mountain there. You know, the next turn, they can ideally, you know, start building out a board, doing, you know, playing some threats and trying to stabilize. And they didn't give themselves that chance, and it worked out for us, but hate to see it. Anyways, we have made 800 of our 1,500 gems back, so we're only down 700 gems, and that 700 gems got us 3 limited packs worth, at least 3 rares among those packs, and will get us 3 of these arena packs, which are, you know, smaller than the full draft packs that we play here. So that's what our 700 gems bought. That's about what you can get, you know, if we click over here, and if we look at what packs cost, I guess 3 packs is 600. So they're 200 gems each. We have gotten more than that value out by playing the event, rather than just coming over here and clicking, you know, this button once. You know, we're already at this value plus, you know, some of our gems back. So if you can do well in the events, that's definitely the way to keep your resources high. It doesn't look high on this account right now, but we have a lot going for us. We have a lot of collection, we have a lot of cosmetics, and that's what I want on this account. Anyways, another quick look at the deck. So what do we often do? We're kind of debating throwing in more Omens of the Forges, just because we're so aggressive. This being able to kill a 2 toughness thing, getting rid of a blocker early is valuable. But I still like doing the 2 blessings, especially with the Storm Herald. If we end up going, you know, just a little bit later in a game, the combination here the opponent showed us in that game too is very powerful. So I like running it how we have it still. Now let's see if the Satyr party can break even on gems. We want to play first. We're missing red. We have red. We're missing green, but I still like this well enough. 1 forest gets us those 2. Another mountain gets us that on the Oracle. And we already have Oracle in the Forge. So, not great. As I said, we can at least throw the Doom on it and just try to go aggro, and I think that's what we do here. Five on 3 is not bad. There are definitely worse things you can be doing. They're gonna sit over there and loot some. That's alright. They're getting in there. We can't Gallia here. So let's just get in there. They're chumping. Love it. They had removal. You know, 3-mana removal that could get this. They would have fired it off there. The fact that they didn't means they're probably digging for it. Now, they could have Final Death at 5 mana, and that feels pretty bad here, but we'll take what we get, and let's just go ahead and snap off the Summon of the Forge on their Devourer. I'm a little scared of that card. Their ability to self-mill is, you know, something to watch out for. Now, we could throw all our eggs in one basket, but we don't have to. Let's just get in there. Let's see if they're willing to trade. Well, not trade, but, you know, chump. And in that case, let's go ahead and throw out Warden of the Chain. Let's keep the pressure up. Hi, MTG boy. Welcome to the stream. Thirst for Meaning. They are desperately digging. Having a good feeling about this. With only 1 blue, the only thing... I'm doing well here tonight. We are playing a best of 3 Theros draft. And so far, so good. We've called this deck the Satyr Party. We have Gallia, as well as a bunch of other Satyrs, and we're just trying to get in there real quick with red-green. So here we have 2 options. We can just straight up go for the win. I have been playing only really seriously about the past year and a half or so. I did some way back when New Phyrexia was out, but that was mostly just kitchen table. Here what we're going to do is we're going to just go for the win real quick. We're going to take out their blocker, swing in for 10. I am a grad student, so puts me right, you know, mid-20s there. I only really seriously started playing. I went to my first pre-release for Core Set 2019. So Core Set 2019 was first pre-release event I got to go to, and I've been to them ever since. And it was, you know, about 6 months or so ago that I really started to get into the constructed scene a little bit. I've gone to my F&Ms. Started out by buying the Mono White Challenger deck, and then remembered why I hate playing Mono White, and built up the Simic Flash last standard season, and this standard season I have a 5-color Fires of Niv-Mizzet deck. I actually have it on Arena here. We can take a look at it here after this limited game, but that one just went wonderful. Beat down the opponent before they ever knew what was happening to them. This is an alright hand. We got our 2-drop. We can play this on 3, keep looking for action, and we have 1 Dream Shaper Shaman for our late game value there. I do play D&D. We have a group that meets here. I'm not the DM of it, but we play, oh gosh, what's the campaign's name? We're in the Underdark. And we do that on Wednesday nights. So on Wednesday nights for 2 hours, I get to go play D&D, and that's a lot of fun as well. Friday's Magic Night, Wednesday's D&D night. It's good all around. Here with them just being on blue, I think what we do is we just training and try to get through for damage. They might have a counter spell here, and I'm kind of okay if it was. Well, let's get in there. Serenity Singer. Oh yeah, Pathfinder, yes. I am aware of that's actually not bad for us. That training going to the yard means it can get bought back with the Storm Herald. But we'll see if we can wait one more turn, because we can go Storm Herald, throw a second training on it, get a whole bunch of enchantment falls here, gain a bunch of life. Seems good. I thought this opponent was blue-white last game, so no, they were blue-black. They are definitely missing a color. So here, I kind of like just Storm Herald training on... We'll bring back the training, and I think we'll throw it... We could just throw it on the Storm Herald. Ah, yes. Not enough players, that is a problem. We play at it's a board game bar near our place, so they take care of setting up stuff, which is rather nice. If we throw both on Nexus Wardens, they're both 3 power, so I kind of like that here. Keep drawing cards. Seems good. So they can double block, take out the Storm Herald. I'm okay with that. We'll just take out, I think, just the Threatening Stinger here. They're a little ways off from drawing cards, and we want to beat them down before that matters. Yeah, it's tough to find players for the D&D groups. We had a small group that I was playing with, and it was going all right, and then we had a couple who was playing with us, and they broke up, and that sort of ended our whole session. Play online. I wish if I had more time I would, but between jamming Magic games and actually having to work, I don't have a ton of free time. One D&D group is probably more than I should have, but I enjoy it, so let's hope they just remembered that this thing can absolutely block. What's the option? We can sack a non-land permanent. So if we find just like 2 drops, we'll go about sacking them. But until then, I like having a 5/4, and a 4/4. And with this, we can aura up like the shaman. Hold on, what's it say? When enchanted creature dies, enchanted creature wouldn't die. We could get it on there and just smash. I kind of like that. And if they want to trade the witness for our 4/4, I'm also alright with that. And here we will auto-pay, and we will get rid of the impending doom to go ahead. Oh, that worked out so well. We managed to spin into a 4/5. So at this point, an Omen to the Forge is the game. One with the stars. So we can still sack it to the Dream Shaper's ability, which is rather nice here. They would have to give up both. They have a Cling to Dust to help them draw cards. But here what I like is no attacks. We'll pay, and we'll sack the thing, and get a Nyx Herald, and we revealed... Now, do those go to the bottom in a random order? Yes. So they're shuffling through. So we could give this thing trample. since it's a 6/5, they'd have to trade the whole board for it. And it has trample, which means even just chumps isn't going to be great for him here. They plan to use the Devour trigger. Of course, if they don't use it, what are they doing? I think we decline here. We're happy with this 2/3. It can give stuff trample. I don't know what they're doing. I think they screwed up. That giving trample is going to be more important here, I think, than just trying to find another thing. Final death. Okay, that's an answer. The Nyx Herald still gets to just attack through. They're forced into a chump. They're at 1. We could have picked out the Cling to Dust, but I would much rather use it just to kill the Naiad here. All they can do is Cling to Dust. That's going to take up 4 of their 5 mana. We should just be able to get there. We're going to do this now so that they can't have this for 1 cheaper, because if they can have 2 mana, that's worse for us than them only having 1. For 1 mana, there's realistically only the bounce answer. Or they can gain life. That does keep them alive. Would have. Because now all we have to do is omen this. Last 2, dead. Alright. That brings us around to my favorite part of this best of 3 drafts, is when you make all the gems back that you put into it. So yay, we have hit the 3-win mark. At this point, I am officially happy with the event. I'm always glad we play limited, but as soon as we can get our money back for it, the feel-bads of, losing a lot of gems on the event go away, and with all the packs that we made, we have made profit. So let's see how far we can take it. It's sort of diminishing returns. This first win is 800 gems, then 700 gems, and then it's only 300 and 300 more. So you get more gems in the win from 1 win to 2 wins than you do going from 3 wins all the way up to 5 wins. Even just going, yeah, it's a pretty sharp increase. Going 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 are your big ones. As soon as you hit 4, that curve of how much you're earning levels off significantly. It is still more gems than you started with, and it's nice, and we would like to have it, and let's see if we can get there. With the Satyr Party. Well, I wish we had a 2-drop, but geez, hand's great. 4 power, 4 power, 4 power. Let's just start beating their face in. Oh no, are they going to try to beat our face in? They're splashing. So we'll start out with Forest. Then we'll go mountain, and we could start bluffing the torch, or just, you know, naturally find one would also work. We'll show them our other color. There's such a small bit, you know, gain from doing so. With this Triumph of Vanax, I was just going to play out the Warden of the Chained. With that out, I think I want to play out a Loathsome Chimera. It does give it trample, doesn't it? Yeah, so they get trample, they get over for more, but this Chimera is going to come back eventually. Or we can get beat to death. Nexus Wardens, I'm hoping to have us gain us some life here. I don't really want to trade the Warden of the Chain for this, but as things are looking right now, that might just be what we go ahead and try to do. Naya, jeez. This thing giving trample is a problem. So yeah, let's just go to soak up a whole bunch of it. This can't get got by an Omen of the Forge. Seeing how they're playing right now is just, you know, go Rage Hound with Shimmy. We're bringing in we'll do our sideboard plan. Another Omen of the Forge. So here we'll Nexus Wardens, test and training. Gain some life. And if they fight, we win that interact. You know, we trade them there. Which at this point I feel like is what would need to happen. Wow, blessing for the win, opponent. Jeez. Alright, well, we know what they're up to now. And wow, alright, opponent. The Triumph of Vanax is not a good card. I would not recommend running it. We'll bring in that other Omen of the Forge. Return to Nature can still be nice, but we'll go down the Iroas' Blessing. That seems like it's going to be a bit much here, and we just need to try to take out that early threat that they not really bogled up, but just, you know, we got beat to death by a single Rage Hound. Maybe the sequencing there is different. Now we know for this game, though. And we'll be on the play. This is fine. We got 2-drop, 3-drop. They'll have to answer both of those if they want to do, you know, have a similar aggro beatdown start. This can actually gain us a little life, too. Turn 4, so let's start activating. Okay, is there a different plan now? I think I go Rider and Pass. They're likely not blocking here, right? Okay, you know what? I'm okay with that. I didn't think that they would block. Oracle. We don't want to trade Gallia for that. All they can do is trade if they pump all their mana into it. Kind of okay with that, if that's what happens. Otherwise, we get in there for 3. Omen of the Sun. Okay. Well, they make some 1/1s. That's alright so far. Calyx. Well, we can actually blow them out here with Return to Nature if they do what I think they're going to do with Calyx. And exile me under the Omen of the Sun. Okay, we're going to get one of the more massive blowouts I've ever seen. Wow, really? Okay. We're gonna go for the... They can't pump it. We're gonna get in there at that bad boy. Doesn't have trample. Calyx, that's why they're splashing green. They find Sentinel's Eyes. Okay. Now, do they throw the Sentinel's Eyes on it right now? Or do they wait a turn? They do it right now. Renata. Okay. And I think here we blow up their Omen. Get that back, we can attack it at Calyx, and we can try to get Calyx off the board here. They can sack it to Scry, but we still get our creature back, which can attack Calyx. It's actually going to come in with, you know, a counter. It's going to come in pumped by Gallia. That's what we're hoping for here. Okay. Well, that's a good play by the Oppo. They find that, which it's nice that we know about it. It's going to be hard to play around, but we know about it. We don't know anything about our library. Oh, opponent. Don't play unknown numbers. I was gonna say, we have alright blocks there, we have perfect information. Play that because they know about it. It's at minimum a 1-for-1 here, so I think we do it. I'm kind of happy to eat either one of those. And even if they pump that, we're still, you know, putting 1 damage on Calyx. If they want to exile it, they can pump a bunch of mana into it. Okay. So here... Gosh, I think we just take out the hero. It does mean they can do the thing on the Oracle, which is bad, but let's just take out their 3/3 that can pump their team. Well, what do I want the Oracle? I feel like maybe I'd rather have the Oracle. Yeah, let's kill the Oracle. I'm less scared of the Hero of the Pride than I am the potential of that Oracle just smashing in. They get to keep finding enchantments. This Calyx is drawing them a lot of cards.
Clothis, show me my path.
Oh, jeez. Well, the opponent can even draw this many cards. Rather sick. I don't know why you got both there. Let's go Nyx Herald. Oh, because this doesn't have Vigilance, I guess. Alright, here we want to pay attention to what we're throwing on the bottom of our library. Three pretty decent things. So that gets pumped. We unfortunately don't have an attack here yet. And we'll hold the land to bluff. We don't have anything to do with just, you know, insane amounts of mana. And they get to keep looking for cards. Oh, and they have hit like every single time with removal spells. That's kind of gross. I could fire it off 2 there. They're giving us a chance. They're absolutely giving us a chance. We'll run out the Chimera. It'll immediately eat an Omen. I think we attack with the Herald. We're kind of fine. Kind of fine trading for either one of these things. Alright, we'll kill the hero now. Yeah, they get to get the back. Yeah, they get a 1/1. Not too concerned about that. We have to try to pressure them in some way. And, you know, maybe someday they'll run out of action. Opponent's deck is absolutely sweet here. If they hit again, that's just... Okay, they missed. I can say their deck's not, you know, 100% nuts. It's like 95% nuts. Alright, well let's just play out everything. They have a second Omen just to give them the Chimera. That is... that feels awful to have to know that this Chimera's gonna go out there and just immediately get got by an Omen of the Forge. That's rough. But we gotta do it. We gotta make him have it here. Well, we know that. We don't have attacks. They're really close to this alt, and what can they get back with it? Basically, into one thing, and if they sack those, all that, it is gross. This deck is gross. I'm okay losing to this. We made our entry fee back. Wow. Alright, well they didn't hit there. So I at least feel okay about that. And for spite's sake, we're gonna go ahead and do one thing. And let him take us down to -20. Woof. Well, if we're gonna lose to a deck, I'm glad it's a deck that looks like that. It's that sick. Hey, but we can celebrate. We got 1,500 gems back, and we got 4 of the packs. So let's go ahead, sit here, crack the packs, and then we'll say goodnight. And our rare is, hey, Graph Doggo's Cage. Watch that vault progress tick up. We're going to be over 400% here real soon and get some more wild cards in here. Hey, Elspeth Conquers Death. Nice constructed card right now in the Azorius control. Really? That's my first Piper. Much better limited card than it is constructed. Would have loved to have seen it in a draft pack. Hateful Eidolon's nice. And we're so close to being over 400%. Hey, it's Idyllic Tutor. This will be nice for, you know, Wednesday Brawl. Throw that in there. Go find your busted enchantments that you need. But that's going to be all. We're going to leave you here at just under 400% vault progress. And we just cash that for wild cards when we need to, but we haven't needed to here too recently. And we imported the deck, so I'll let everyone take one last look at that. And then we'll sign off for the night here. Deck was sweet. The only thing I might have done any different is, again, we sort of were debating between going the third Omen. And again, the third Omen's not as good as the first or the second. But in this deck, I'd argue it's pretty close. Versus the Blessing, we did not see enough of these in our run here. But I think the deck performed pretty well. I was happy with it. And getting to do this Gruul aggro beatdown stuff, we were definitely able to punish some opponents who wanted to dirtle. And our 2 losses were against, one was against a Dream Trawler deck, and the other one was against a Calyx Planeswalker deck. So if we're going to lose to stuff, if we're losing against, you know, very powerful cards, you know, the best of the best rares and mythics, then I'm alright with it. We were able to play it and play it well, so I was happy with the deck. And thanks for everyone for tuning in, either if you're on Twitch or when this video goes up on YouTube. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you again in the future.